In the opulent halls of their lavish mansion, Jackson Reed, a billionaire mogul in his early 50s, sat at his marble desk, flipping through legal documents. His decision had been made. After years of marriage to his wife Rachel, he was ready to move on. Rachel, always supportive, had been with him when his fortune was just a dream, and now that he had achieved unimaginable wealth, he felt trapped. The spark had fizzled out, and in his mind, the thrill of youth was something he craved once more. Across the room, Rachel sat quietly, her eyes fixated on the papers in front of her. The divorce was inevitable. She had sensed Jackson's growing distance, his late-night business trips that didn't involve business at all. She knew about Victoria Blake, a woman half Jackson's age, radiant, full of life, everything he believed he needed now. "I never thought it would come to this," Rachel whispered, her voice tinged with sadness but surprisingly calm. Jackson looked at her, feeling a moment of guilt but quickly brushed it off. "It's for the best. We've grown apart," he said, his tone cold, almost rehearsed. Rachel signed the papers without a fight. She knew there was no point in trying to hold on to a man who had already left her heart long ago. But what Jackson didn't know, what he could never imagine, was how his world would unravel in ways he couldn't foresee. Fast forward 2 years, Jackson's life had changed dramatically. He was married to Victoria now, living the high life, attending glamorous events, traveling to exotic locations, and indulging in the youth and beauty he craved. Victoria was everything Jackson thought he wanted, carefree, fun, and without the weight of his past life. But beneath the surface, Victoria was living a double life. While Jackson worked tirelessly to maintain their extravagant lifestyle, Victoria was secretly seeing Trevor Hammond, a tech billionaire in his 30s. She had carefully hidden her affairs, meeting Trevor during Jackson's business trips, using their shared social circles as cover for their rendezvous. One afternoon, while Jackson was rushing to a meeting downtown, something caught his eye at the edge of a park. There was a familiar figure sitting on a bench, surrounded by a group of children. His heart skipped a beat as he realized it was Rachel. But what stunned him even more were the 4 small children surrounding her. Quadruplets, identical in their appearance, each with the same striking blue eyes he saw in the mirror every day. Jackson froze, his mind racing. Quadruplets. His quadruplets. Before he could fully process this shocking discovery, his world imploded. That evening, he returned home to find Victoria packing her designer luggage. The truth came pouring out in a torrent of cruel honesty. She had been seeing Trevor for over a year, and now that he had proposed, she was leaving Jackson for someone younger, wealthier, and more exciting. "You were just a stepping stone, Jackson," Victoria said coldly, slipping off her wedding ring. "Trevor's worth 3 times what you are, and he's not even 40 yet." The humiliation of Victoria's betrayal sent Jackson into a tailspin. His focus shattered. His business decisions became erratic. When a key business partner was discovered embezzling money, Jackson was too distracted by his personal life to catch it in time. His company declared bankruptcy, and Jackson Reed, the billionaire, found himself penniless. While Jackson's life spiraled out of control, Rachel thrived. She had built a life of stability and love for her children, and with the support of close friends, she managed to create a warm, nurturing environment for them. The joy she found in motherhood was all the wealth she needed. Later that evening, Jackson confronted Rachel. He found her in the same modest apartment she had moved into after the divorce. There, she welcomed him with an expression of calm strength he hadn't expected. "You never told me," Jackson blurted out, his voice a mix of anger and confusion. "How could you hide something like this from me?" Rachel looked him straight in the eyes, unflinching. "You didn't ask," she said simply, her voice filled with quiet dignity. "You left without caring enough to know what was happening in my life. And when I found out I was pregnant, you had already moved on." As time went on, Jackson slowly began to rebuild his relationship with his children. Though he was no longer the billionaire he once was, he found a different kind of wealth, one that came from being present, from the love of family, and from the humility that comes with losing everything and finding yourself. Rachel and Jackson never rekindled their romance, but they found a way to co-parent, giving their children the love and support they deserved. And while Jackson no longer had the lavish lifestyle he once enjoyed, he learned that the richest things in life were the ones money couldn't buy. In the end, Jackson's story wasn't about losing his fortune, but about finding his heart. He had spent years chasing after fleeting pleasures, only to be betrayed by the very person he had sacrificed his family for. Though it took losing everything to understand it, Jackson finally found peace in the life he had once taken for granted, realizing that true loyalty and love had been with Rachel all along.